Hi guys, I hope you're all good. So today's video, I actually want to do a little Q&A on self-love. So I wrote down a couple of questions that I really want to answer to help people who possibly want to, I don't know, whether that's change yourself or just learning to love yourself, because it is a long journey. But you know, I'm not like there, like, oh my god, I love myself, but I would say I'm getting to a point where I'm quite comfortable with myself. So I hope that these questions and the answers just help you guys in some sort of way. So the first question I wanted to talk about is, how do I forgive myself? Now, I feel like one of the main reasons that I stay in a bad state and learn to not love myself is because I regret a lot of stuff that I've done. And when you do that, you kind of stay in this really depressed state when you don't move on, and you have to realize, like, you're a different person. And to be honest, if you regret it, it's kind of good, because it's showing you that you've moved on and you wouldn't do necessarily that stuff again. But I feel like forgiving yourself is such a weight off your shoulders, because with me, even though if I've done something bad, or you know, I feel like I've done something I regret, even if I ask my forgiveness from Allah, I still don't feel satisfied, because I realise that I don't forgive myself, because I'm one of them people, like, if I do something bad, or maybe I've said something bad to someone, like, I'm just one of them people that I can't explain it. I really let the guilt build up inside of me, and then you get those days where you're just like, you just won't let it, you just think of it at night, like the bad stuff that you've done, and you just can't let it go. But a part of self-love is learning to move on and forgive yourself for the stuff you've done. And the thing is, the stuff that I might have done is actually a couple of years ago or a couple months ago, and you've changed if you obviously wanted to move on and learn to forgive yourself, so you've changed. So another question I wrote down is, how do I reach my goals? And I think this is to do with, I don't know if it's to do with motivation as well, which is quite a big one that I wanted to do another video on as well. But reaching your goals, it's like, I don't know, I feel like the thing that gets in the way of me reaching my goals are my insecurities. So I feel like I can't do it, I'm not good enough, when I actually know I can do it. It's just my insecurities that are weighing me down. So for example, if I start going gym, for example, I started going about 2 years ago, yeah, and I used to actually be really overweight. Now, I'm not like slim, I'm like, I don't know what kind of weight I am. I'd say I'm like averagey weight, but I used to be really overweight. And I remember when I used to go to the gym, it'd be on and off, because after a while you just get, I think also it's because, you know, when I used to go gym, I used to look in the mirror every day, and when you look in the mirror every day, you're not going to notice change, like, every time you look in the mirror. So reaching your goals is a form of self-love. Like, you make a promise to yourself, you've got to do it. And the thing is, when I didn't reach my goals, or I lost the motivation, then that would just make me feel depressed. Like, I'd be in a state where I felt like, oh, I could have done it, like, there's so many things I regret. Like, for example, I guess when I was younger, this probably makes no relation, but I remember I did kickboxing for a couple of years and I quit. And that's something I regret so much, because I feel like if I could have carried on with it, I could have got to, like, you know, black belt. I could have reached my goals, and that's something that I'm actually going to take up again in the future. I really want to take it up for New Year's. Like, that's one of my New Year's promises, to start kickboxing again. But a form of self-love is just learning to keep to your promises, because the problem is, then you're just constantly disappointing yourself, and that just knocks your self-confidence down. So one thing I'd say is, make a list of all the promises you want. And also, this is something I noticed with myself. Like, for example, if I'm going to start a diet or something, or I'm going to start something, I've always got to start it on, like, the beginning of the next week, and then if I don't do it, I have to do it the next week, or I have to do it the next week. Don't ever have that mentality where, oh, I'll start it next month, I'll start it next year, because it's like a fresh start. Like, if you want to make a change, if you want to have a goal that you want to reach, you start from that moment on. Because if you're like, maybe next week, maybe next month, you might not have that same dedication and determination you had at that point that you made it, that you do like in a month or a week. So just do it from that moment on. Another question I wrote down is, how do I change? This is something that's really, really important to me, because I feel like I've changed a lot from the person that I used to be. I used to be really, really shy. I didn't talk to anyone. I didn't have any confidence. I literally would not look anyone in the eye because I started getting scared, like if I'd look anyone in the eye. I feel like if you love yourself enough, you'll want to change. And when I say change, I don't necessarily mean like on the outside, like physically. Right now I'm talking about like personality. I feel like personality is something that's really, really hard to change, because physically you can just do that, do you know what I mean? But personality is something like within. Like even me, I have so many goals like with my personality. I need to slightly tone down my hyperness and my bubbliness, because I feel like it can be not inappropriate, but maybe like sometimes it's too much. So that's one of my goals at the minute, to just tone it down in like public places as well. And you know, that's something that you have to keep going with, because sometimes I might forget. Even another one of my goals is swearing. That's a problem I have. Like, I swear so much, like whether that's in public or with my friends. I don't notice it so much, but I remember it was Ramadan, and I said to myself, right, I'm gonna go like a week without swearing. And literally, I found it so hard. I had to come up with like other words, you know, like sugar honey iced tea that we used to do in high school. I had to come up with other words to kind of substitute swear words. But after a while, I actually started to feel really good, like I said myself. Now, to do with changing yourself on the outside, I would say seriously make a plan. Like, it's good enough just saying it in your head, but the amount of times I've gone on and off, like make a plan. Like, I basically have quit my gym at the minute because it's just really, really expensive, and I'm going to London like next week. So if I like go to this new gym in Manchester, like there's no point, because I'm going to waste a month's membership. So I'm starting my gym in January, but I've already made like my fitness plan for like 3 months, what I'm going to eat, what I'm going to exercise. When you do that, then you're more motivated, because then if you want to change yourself physically, you'll be like, oh, I'll go gym, whatever, and I'll just start eating healthy. If it's not an actual plan, then you're not going to really be motivated, and then that's the little problem, is you'll do it again, like, you know, when you do it for like a week, and then just like, whatever, I don't care, because you don't feel motivated. So, yeah, what's another question? Nourishing your body. Yeah, I feel like a part of self-love is learning to nourish your body, like just taking care of it, like on the inside and the outside. Because I notice, like, when I eat healthier, it's not necessarily eating like fruit and eating crazy like healthy foods. It's just, you know, eating a balanced diet. The problem with me is that I tend to have an obsession when I start gym with losing weight. And the problem with me is I either starve, I'm sorry, I have a really bad cold. I either starve crazy or I binge. And the problem is, even when I eat a balanced diet, I still see that as unhealthy. So that's one part of me that I'm seeing to like love, just knowing that eating a balanced diet is okay. You can have a piece of cake every now and then, and you're not going to gain 3 pounds from having a piece of cake. It's okay. And also, just knowing, just letting you know, changing yourself on the outside physically, it's not going to make you happy. Because I'm just letting you know, like, the amount of times that I've gone on diets, lost weight, got toned, it's not made me happy at all. I thought it would make me happy, because I always thought it was my weight that was my main insecurity, and that was what made me like upset about my body, but it really wasn't. I feel like you've got, if you're going on this fitness journey with your body, you've got to learn to love it as you go along, because sometimes the problem is I'd get into my head that as soon as I start like dieting, I'm gonna have this amazing transformation, and it doesn't happen like that. And that's why I got so disappointed that when I lose that 3-4 stone that I wanted, then I just end up binging again. So number one, if you're going to change yourself physically, just set realistic goals, but no, you're not going to have this amazing to be honest, your transformation should be within. If you're going on a fitness plan or you're doing like a weight loss or something, that journey should be about self-love, loving yourself and nourishing yourself. It shouldn't just be about getting to an end goal and being the best toned, fittest self you can be, because I'm telling you, you're not. You might feel confident, but you're not going to be happy, because I noticed when I got to, I've mentioned this in a previous video, when I got to being really slim, I missed who I was. I missed being, I don't know, curvy. I missed having big thighs and big hips, and that's because I noticed I don't know, I felt more comfortable being me. That's when I felt like I was me, but it just didn't make me happy being slim. So just know that your journey to self-love, that should be the main purpose if you're going on a fitness plan or doing anything like that. How do I stay committed? How do you stay committed? This is kind of similar to what I was talking about, reaching your goals. I feel like that's one of the main parts where I disappoint myself. I don't stay committed to a lot of things because you get excited at first. You get excited about doing stuff like, oh, I'm going to start going to gym, or I'm going to start studying really, really hard. And you get really excited and you get really committed and you're getting there. And then after a while, you just lose that motivation and that commitment that you had at the start. And of course, it's a bit natural, because I think when you start those kind of things anyway, you are really, really motivated and really committed. But you've really got to want it. Because I noticed that I wasn't committed to the gym if I didn't really want it. If I only wanted it for weight loss, I'd lose my commitment. But if I wanted it for self-love, if I wanted it to learn to be confident and to love myself, and I wanted to go to the gym because I just wanted to get healthier and lead a healthy lifestyle, then I was committed. But if I just went for silly reasons, then I wasn't committed. So I feel like you are more committed if you do it for the right reasons. If you do something for the right reasons, you're committed. So yeah, I don't think that was 10 self-love questions. I kind of just like, I don't know if merged is a word, but I just merged loads of questions into one. But I hope that really helped you guys. Self-love is a really, really important topic to me. So if you guys have like any questions, I really would love to help you guys, because I know feeling confident and loving yourself is a really, really hard thing to do. And it's not big-headed. Like, loving yourself should be something natural as well. And for me, like, learning to love who I am was easier than my body. I feel like I learned to love my personality and who I was more than my physical body. Loving my body is something that took quite a long time, because there were years and months that I feel insecure, and then there are times I'd be like, you know what, girl, work it, you're curvy, you're this, and I'd be so confident. And that's the problem, is sometimes you just go up and down. One minute you're completely feeling yourself, the next minute you're like, oh, I'm disgusting, my skin is disgusting. And it's just like, also, it's so good to write a list of stuff you love about yourself and write it and leave it on your wall. Because there's so many times that we feel insecure, and sometimes if we just see that on our wall in the mornings, it just makes us feel like, you know, like we're worth it. I love this about myself. And to be honest, it's sad, because when I wrote that list, it took me really long to think of stuff to write, and some stuff should just be instinctive. Like, it shouldn't take you so long to write stuff that you love about yourself. Like, come on, girl, like, you should love your body. And guys, you should love your body, you should love who you are. Like, it's just, I know it's a journey, it takes a long time, but I'm here if any of you need help. And yeah, so I'm gonna go, and I hope this has helped you. So yes, goodbye, people.